Hello everybody, and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2, and welcome back to Wet and Wild. We are back once again for another episode. I know it's been a little while. Again, I'm not gonna rehash everything I talked about in the last episode of Jardin Magique about where I've been, but we are back. It's time for a new episode of Wet and Wild. I've been working away, and I've got some stuff to show you, some stuff to talk about. So yeah, let's crack on. So, starting off here by the wave pool, I've got to say first of all, Frontier have updated the game and now people are actually using the sun loungers, which is really nice. They are kind of hilariously packed. They're like all in use, which is nice to see. Yeah, love that. Well done, Frontier. This guy is absolutely lounging. I respect it. So, over on the left here, we've got some new developments, as I'm sure you can see. I guess the first thing to talk about here would be the soak zone tippy bucket. Well, it's slightly confusing branding here because I've put splash zone on the floor and I've put soak zone on the sign up here. So we will need to make a choice about that. But basically we've just got this. It's meant to be just like cheap and cheerful, minimal theming. You'll see that there's like a very loose theme. Can you call it a theme? I don't know. I'm basically just using these like wooden plank signs with colours on them. And you'll see there's a little bit on the little kind of like kiddie slide area over there as well. And then just using that to dress up this framework. The base for this whole kind of like tippy bucket setup is a workshop item by Leaf, customizable dump bucket. Whoa, that's huge. So as you can see, I basically just brought that in, rescaled it, dressed it up a little bit. The idea was that it was meant to look really cheap and cheerful, so just colours and a little bit of theming with these planks, and that's basically good enough to sell the effect, I think, for what we would have here. I do have to give special shout outs to Simtanic for recommending some no climbing signs on here. I could absolutely see some kids or, you know, naughty adults trying to climb up here, so we've got the no climbing signs. And then I did replace the bucket on the blueprint as well. I sort of remade one that looks kind of empty on the inside, just to kind of sell the effect a little bit more when it tips over, so that when it tips over you can see inside the bucket. It would also be great if the guests would react to the splash. You know, if you could set a kind of like those kind of like visitor points that you have in Planet Coaster 1 or something, maybe just some kind of like little object that you place down and it says fun things are happening here, and then the guests would come and stand here, and then I don't know, Frontier can figure it out. I could totally see it in the future actually, like a DLC with this kind of stuff, like more kind of officially implemented into the game. Yeah, so that's that. I think I'm going to add maybe one or two more little like splashy... Hello mate. I really wish it was possible to designate this area as like not kids only, but like not somewhere for like single adults to just kind of come and stand, because it's a little bit weird. But you know, whatever, you know, look, I'm not trying to yuck his yum or anything, but anyway, yeah, I think I am going to basically add like a couple more splashy bits in this area, maybe one or two little kind of splashy fountain things, or one of those little slides you have that's sort of built into the splash pad that's shaped like an elephant or a crocodile or something like that. And then I think this splash pad will be basically done. And then over on the left here, we've just got a little snack shack. This is just a really simple little structure, and it's just copying over the same kind of menu boards and stuff from the one that's way over there on the other side of the park. But yeah, just wanted to have another little snack area over on this side. And then, yeah, as I said, we've got some little kiddie slides here, little junior slides, for people who don't want to ride the big tall scary ones. And again, we're just using this kind of super simple framework with the kind of coloured planks on it, bit of fake fiberglass rock work. I was finding actually that you can put the like decals on the rocks, makes it look more like fiberglass rock work that's kind of going through it a bit. So yeah, that's working pretty well. A couple of palm trees just to lend to the sort of Splash Cove theming with the rock work and stuff, just to make it a little bit more appealing for the kids. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how this little area's come out actually. And then carrying on around this way, we've got the largest addition from this particular update. Two big tube slides, tube slides, I don't know what you call these, which are both feeding into this pool here. I actually still need names for these, so if you've got any good name suggestions, I would gladly take those in the comments, and maybe in the next episode we'll get a little sign up. The really cool thing with this is using the new invisible pathing for the queue here coming up, so we can get this proper like tower that kind of wraps around the structure. Or it's kind of funny that you can you can see their feet sticking through, so it's not completely perfect. It's because their feet clip through the ground anyway, so when you try and match it up, oh, that's weird how they all move at the same time. When you try and match it up, it's you get a bit of that, but I still think that the overall effect is absolutely worth it. It looks really cool. I did have a little bit of a nightmare building this, but our Lord and Saviour Taggy 3D came to the rescue at the last minute with his new kind of gridded queue path system, which basically allowed me to use snap distance to essentially do this kind of thing. And then I just linked them up like that, and then I did that all the way up around. I tried to do it like manually by hand to start with, and it was absolutely miserable. So thank you, Taggy 3D. As always, you are saving the game, keeping us all sane. And yeah, I just love how this looks. There's a temptation to come and like redo these towers as well, but I probably won't, to be honest. But it's certainly a temptation. And then yeah, what else have we got? I finished off a bit of a kind of light backstaging area here behind the wave pool. Again, this cool little truck is from the workshop. I think it's just the like truck piece from in-game, is it? Yeah, it is. And then is it all one piece? Oh yeah, really, literally is all one piece. Okay. And it's obviously themed to this is a game power wash simulator, but I don't know, I thought it kind of made sense with a pool that you'd have a power wash service coming through. We're really kind of lacking vehicles at the moment. I did have a little look on the workshop, but I couldn't see any on there that were really grabbing my eye. I think we kind of got a bit spoiled with like Wings and Strings and a few other creators on Planet Coaster 1 making really nice custom vehicles, and obviously eventually we got the Studios pack, which had a bunch of actual vehicles in it. So yeah, we're kind of sorely missing a lot of that kind of thing at the moment in the game, which is a shame. But yeah, basically I've got this backstage road which now comes around the perimeter of the park. I actually don't know if I'm going to leave this one in here. I think what would make more sense would be to have another little entrance here, and then there'll be a road kind of coming along the front of the park here. Yeah, I don't know, I need to think about that, because I mean, looking forward with this park, I think basically it's more or less like feature complete in its current form for what I want to do with it. It was never meant to be like a massive water park with loads and loads of slides. I think we're at kind of a nice size for the time being. And yeah, I think this is a good place to leave it, so that if Frontier add more slides or more water park features and stuff in DLCs and updates, then we've got room for expansion. We could easily expand off to the right here or off into this area on the left. So yeah, maybe I'll leave the access road in for now, but I'm not going to like detail it too heavily, just so that if needed we can expand. So there's not really that much left to do, I don't think, for sort of version 1.0 of the park. I'm obviously going to fill in this little gap here with some fencing and planters and stuff, and just like fence off. I just need to fence off this area here. Maybe we need another pump building for this ride here, like over here somewhere. I've also kind of like tidied up this backstage area over here a little bit as well. We've got some parts for like a future slide here sitting on some... I've just realised that this slide is making loads of noise, because in order to do this you have to have like a fake slide hiding under the ground. So that's making loads of noise. We've got some slide parts here. We've got a warehouse on the left here. We've got the back entrance into the snack shack, and then the staff building. Oh, these cardboard boxes are from the workshop as well. I will throw the link for those in the description. They're really simple, but I think they work really nicely. They sell the effect perfectly, especially from a distance. Yeah, and then I need to decide if I'm going to build a car park. I know with Stevetown I said I always kept saying I wasn't going to build a car park, and then I ended up building one. And I don't know, the more I look at this, the more I think like maybe it would be cool to have a car park. And then I was thinking maybe it would be cool if there was a theme park next to this water park. Another Stevetown, maybe smaller than the last one, more of a kind of like, what are those parks called in America? Fun Spot, kind of like a Fun Spot style, like down and dirty. All the rides are just sitting on piles of dirt, loads of like ex-fairground rides. I guess part of the problem with that is that we don't have an amazing roster of flat rides at the moment to pick from. But yeah, I cannot lie, I was thinking about how cool it would be, now that we've got this water park, how cool it would be if there was like a couple of coasters on the skyline there behind it. So yeah, that has been on my mind. I'm not going to overly commit to anything, because obviously we've got Jardin Magique going as well now. Yeah, I don't want to like massively overcommit, but I'm certainly percolating on that idea. You know, maybe we would sort of develop this into a bit of a car park with a road, turn this into a sort of a road along the bottom edge of the park, and then have a car park here, and maybe it shares a car park over on the right here, and then we have an entrance to the park which then comes out like this or something, I don't know. Or it could be the same on the left side here, either or, and then we'd still have room to expand the water park if we wanted to, depending on which side we pick. We could either go like this way or this way. Yeah, so that's that's what I'm thinking. That is the state of affairs. I'm going to get this park tidied up over the next week or so, and then I will come back with another episode, give you one last little tour of the park with everything finished off, and we'll get the park up on the workshop. You can download it and check it out if you're so inclined. Before I go, I also just want to very quickly say thank you so much for the very warm welcome back on last week's Jardin Magique. It was very much appreciated. I continue to appreciate all the love and support that I get on these YouTube videos. I really do appreciate it a lot, and yeah, thanks very much for sticking around, and I will see you next time. Bye!